Great way to get started. Thank you, Deb. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Spokane, where our mission is to join together to create a nourishing, liberal, religious home and to champion justice, diversity, and environmental stewardship in our wider world, or as we say in short, to create community, find meaning, and work for justice. I want to begin, as I do each Sunday, by welcoming all that you bring with you to this space, all of your uniqueness, your unique beliefs, your background, your lifestyle, your experiences, your differences, all that helps make you who you are is welcome here this morning. So thanks to everyone for being here, those who are in the room with us, as well as the many of you who are streaming with us this morning, and now Zooming with us as well. I think Todd is going to bring up a screen for us, and we have some folks that are Zooming with us as well. The difference between the Zoom and the stream is that the stream is about a 30-second delay, right? So it's great to watch. It's not as interactive as we would like, because you are watching the production of our service. The Zoom allows folks who are participating online to meet together, to watch together in a Zoom room, and also to participate with us. So it looks like we have Terry and Mary there. Todd, can you turn their mics on for just a minute, or they're okay. Mary, you're up in front of us right now. Would you like to say hello to the congregation?
Yes, I'm in Vancouver, and I've been watching many of these services on YouTube, usually after the service, because I attend my own congregation in Vancouver. So hi.
Great to have you. And there's Terry.
And my name is Terry Anderson, and I have had the pleasure of being at one service in Spokane, and I've been watching the stream for past 8 months or so. But I'm looking forward to developing a more vibrant online Spokane Unitarian Universalist community. So thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Thanks to both you and Mary for being here, and it's great to have you. For those who are hearing me say this 30 seconds from now, by streaming with us. If you are interested in joining a Zoom room, this is going to, we're beginning just during our first service, kind of working out the kinks, the technical kinks. It's not as easy as it looks. But you'll be able to get that Zoom link on our website, or just check with the church office so that we can be sure and get that to you as well. So you could join. You can join anytime you'd like, at least during the first service, and then hopefully we'll be able to expand this to our second service as well. So thanks again for both of you being here, and Terry for really sort of being the person who pursued doing this and helped us make it happen. So really appreciate it. And
My pleasure.
We're going to not mute you, but Todd will turn the mic off of the sound system for now, and then hopefully we'll get to hear from you again later during our service. So let's see. I don't have any major announcements this morning, so let's take a few moments to greet one another. Say hello to those you look forward to seeing each Sunday, as well as some you might not know this morning. And if you guys are Zooming, you can say hi to each other. If you're streaming, you can send someone a text, that sort of thing. So great to have you this morning, please. Okay, and as always, there'll be more opportunity to visit with one another during our social hour, so I hope you'll stay around for that. We haven't quite worked that out for our Zoomers yet, but at least you guys can hang out and visit with each other on Zoom as well. So for now, we're going to move forward by lighting our chalice. The chalice, of course, is a symbol of our faith, a symbol of our unity and our solidarity, of our openness and our inclusion, of our community and our individual uniqueness. May this small flame be our offering of warmth to those who are cold and alone, and a light to those in darkness. May it be a flame that ignites justice in our world, and a beacon of hope to those in need, and may it reflect at least a spark of truth wherever truth has been lost, and cast a healthy shadow of doubt wherever it's been found.
For our opening reflection today, I wanted to recollect the character of our late congregant Owen Muir. His eccentricity, his hands-on involvement, his intelligence, his sociability. To my mind, his was a world filled with the quirkiness and the companionability of G.K. Chesterton's poem, The Rolling English Road. Before the Roman came to Rye or out to Severn strode, the rolling English drunkard made the rolling English road. A reeling road, a rolling road that rambles round the shire, and after him the parson ran, the sexton and the squire, a merry road, a mazy road, and such as we did tread, the night we went to Birmingham by way of Beachy Head. I knew no harm of Bonaparte, and plenty of the squire, and for to fight the Frenchmen I did not much desire, but I did bash their bagonets, because they came arrayed to straighten out the crooked road an English drunkard made. Where you and I went down the lane with ale mugs in our hands the night we went to Glastonbury by way of Goodwin Sands. His sins, they were forgiven him. Or why do flowers run behind him and the hedges all strengthening in the sun? The wild thing went from left to right and knew not which was which, but the wild rose was above him when they found him in the ditch. God pardon us, nor harden us. We did not see so clear the night we went to Bannockburn by way of Brighton Pier. My friends, we will not go again, or ape an ancient rage, or stretch the folly of our youth to be the shame of age, but walk with clearer eyes and ears this path that wandereth, and see undrugged in evening light the decent inn of death. For there is good news yet to hear, and fine things to be seen before we go to paradise by way of Kensal Green.
Our first in-service song today is taken from our turquoise hymnal. It's number 1051, We Are. Please rise as you're willing and able. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage and fathers of time. We are daughters of dust and the sons of great visions. We're sisters of mercy and brothers of love. We are lovers of life and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are.
Thank you. And Todd Milne just let me know that for some reason he does not have this week's slideshow on our laptop. So for those of you who are streaming with us and Zooming with us, we apologize that you won't have the lyrics to our songs this morning. So we'll figure out what went wrong and fix that. That's stuff like that happens. So, and for those in the room, you can refer to your order of service for the page number, and Deb will make an announcement when we sing together as well. So.
And I cut out a short section out of that last one, so I could see people getting lost. I'll be sure.
Oh, people were getting lost. Yeah. So.
I'll make sure that doesn't happen.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the problem for Deb and I, of course, is we're facing you guys, not the screen. So if people are making funny faces or holding, their fingers up behind our heads, we can't see it. So, so anyway, so we'll get that worked out next week, part of technology, but we'll make do with what we have today. So, okay. We are going to move now into our candles of care. And I did not have any specific requests this morning, but do want to begin, as we have been, kindling a candle for the people of Ukraine, as well as the rest of that part of the world that is being most impacted by the destruction and violence going on there. And let's take the usual moment of silence on behalf of others that you might be thinking of, and as always, you're welcome to name them aloud at this time if you'd like. Those named aloud and those embraced in our silence, and all those who are suffering in our world at this hour, we hold in our community with compassion. And we now gratefully give and receive this morning's offering, which helps sustain this community and our mission to the larger world. Thank you so much. It's now time for our story for all ages. And back by popular request. There we go. Let me take that out of your mouth. Thank you. This is my friend Purple. Purple was actually the first character I ever introduced to this congregation way back in July of 2011. It's been a long time, Purple. How old are you now? 5. Oh, you're not 5. You're older than that. You're at least 11. Anyway, Max Gronholz actually asked if you would come. He says it's been a while since he's seen you and he wanted to see you. So you'll have to say hi to Max when he's here during the second service. And also, little Theo Christensen, I showed him a picture of you with all your puppet friends at the house, and he recognized you and said, "I like that guy. That guy's funny." So you're very popular around here. Anyway, how's your summer been? It's been a lot of fun. Well, good. Glad to hear it. What did you do? Well, I helped earn some money helping my parents working at their hotel. Well, I didn't realize that your parents had a hotel. Yeah, and one day some pirates came and they started talking about a nap that leads to a buried treasure. They did, buried treasure, huh? Yeah, so I put together a crew to help me sail to an island where the treasure was hidden. I see, that story is beginning to sound a little familiar. Yeah, and I made friends with one of them named Long John Silver. Okay, I think I know where this is coming from. Yeah, that it turns out he and the rest of the crew were planning on taking the treasure for themselves, so they took over our ship. Oh my gosh. And what did you do? Well, I snuck away and got on the island all alone. Where I met a castaway who'd been stranded there for a very long time. Wow, don't tell me before long the pirates caught up with you and held you hostage while they looked for the buried treasure. How did you know? Well, lucky guess. But then the castaway pretended to be a ghost and scared the pirates away. I see. And what about the treasure? Well, the treasure was given to a mean sheriff. A mean sheriff. I don't remember that part of the story, Purple. Yeah. So, me and my band of merry men stole it back from him and gave the treasure to all the people who needed it most. I see. You robbed from the rich and gave to the poor. Then what happened? Well, then I followed a white rabbit down a hole and ended up in the 100-acre wood where I met Winnie the Pooh and his friends. Okay, well, those sound like wonderful adventures, Purple. And then tell me, did you also happen to visit the library a few times this summer? How did you know? Well, because it sounds like you may have checked out a few classic books like Treasure Island and Robin Hood and Alice in Wonderland and Winnie the Pooh. And now I'm reading Swiss Family Robinson. Okay, well, I'm impressed, Purple, that you spent so much time this summer having adventures by reading a lot of great books. And I know school is starting next week. Are you looking forward to it? Well, I'm looking forward to seeing my friends and learning some new things. But I'm going to miss pirates and Robin Hood and adventures in the 100-acre wood. Well, maybe your teacher will pick some other great stories for you to read, and if not, you can always continue your adventures by reading what you want after you've done your homework. Okay, but right now, I have to go find out if the Robinson family gets off the island. Well, great to see you, Purple. Enjoy your books and have a great year at school. That was no moral to that story. Just read. Read, kids. Have fun.
For today's meditation, make yourself comfortable. Close your eyes if you like and breathe mindfully. Reflect on these words from author Ray Bradbury from his novel Fahrenheit 451. It doesn't matter what you do, so long as you change something from the way it was before you touched it into something that's like you after you take your hands away. The difference between the man who just cuts lawns and a real gardener is in the touching. The lawn cutter might just as well not have been there at all. The gardener will be there a lifetime.
If I had a hammer, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out a warning, I'd ring out a danger, I'd ring out love between my brothers and my sisters. Oh, over this land. If I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out a danger and a warning, I'd ring out love between my brothers and my sisters. Oh, over this land. If I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. And I'd sing out a danger, I'd sing out a warning, sing out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Well, I got a hammer and I got a bell and I got a song to sing all over this land. It's a hammer of justice, a bell of freedom, a song about love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. It's a hammer of justice, a bell of freedom, and a song about love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. This land. This land.
Thank you, Pam. You know, you surprised me a little because usually you write a song of your own and perform it, which is fantastic. This is, of course, the great Pete Seeger's song, and yet somehow you made it your own. You know, so I felt like you were singing one of your songs. It was really, you really took that familiar song and sang it like only you can. So thank you. There's Anne giving her silent applause. Thank you, Anne. Good to have you. So during our most recent Conversations with Todd service on July 24th, when I responded to a few random questions for those who haven't attended one of those, church member Owen Muir asked if instead of answering our questions, what question would you like to ask us? And none of us could have known that that would be Owen's final service with us, that he would die unexpectedly just a couple of days later, or that his question would be the last thing that many of us would hear him say. And what a question it was. Like his spirit, his final question lingers with us still. And I consider it the most brilliant bequest that he could have given us. Because I had to pause for a bit to consider the question, what would I ask you? After which I finally said, why are you here? And my question got a few chuckles, which I suspect was because after all the difficulties that we've experienced during these past few years, some may have understood me to be asking, why are you still here? Dealing with conflict and adversity is never enjoyable, and some will choose to avoid it if they can. But others will choose to endure it because of what we gain by facing our challenges and overcoming them. Some causes are worth the struggle. So yes, that is part of what I'm asking. What makes being here worth the struggle? But the question has a lot more to do with the intrinsic nature of Unitarian Universalism itself. After the illiberal and un-Unitarian behavior demonstrated by some of our former members in response to my unnecessarily controversial book, The Gadfly Papers, I've come to think that they weren't Unitarian Universalists to begin with, and they must have been here for some other reason. For ours is a liberal religion rooted in the Enlightenment values of freedom and reason and tolerance, which means we accept our differences and meet them with compassion and curiosity. It means we cherish a free pulpit and that we don't condemn authors or ban books. And this is what our church has been about since it was founded here in Spokane in 1887. As someone who left the Southern Baptist faith, even though it was once an integral part of my life, I understand the necessity of leaving a religion when it no longer meets our needs, if we no longer believe in it, and above all, if it contradicts our own values. I sometimes say, let your values drive you away from your religion before you let your religion drive you away from your values. These past few years have been at least as hard on me as they have anyone else. The brood of vipers who have taken over the Unitarian Universalist Association, and apparently hundreds of its illiberal ministers, do not reflect my liberal values. And as recently as this summer, I had to endure being in a congregational meeting in which I was openly called a dictator and compared to Donald Trump. And there were a couple of attempts to change our bylaws so I would no longer have the authority to do my job. That's tough. And hardest of all for me are those who think being pastoral means remaining in abusive relationships, doing nothing and keeping my mouth shut about it. And this is not my idea of ministry, nor of being a good and healthy person in good and healthy relationships. Why are you here? Why are you still here? These are questions I've been asking myself a lot. And I'm going to spend just a few minutes responding to them before opening the floor because I want to leave time to hear some of your answers. As for me, I'll move from the most mundane to my most important reasons, and finally my most important reason for still being here, for being here. Firstly, to be quite honest, I need a paycheck. Right? Let's get that out there. Having recently been canceled, which is easy enough to discover in a routine Google search, I think most potential employers would be reluctant to hire me, even if I wanted to find another kind of work. And having been excommunicated from the professional order of UU ministers, my career in ministry will end whenever I do leave this congregation. Another reason I'm still here is that I don't like bullies. I lived with an abusive bully the first 18 years of my life and have since learned not to let them push me or others around. Like Rocky Balboa, I may get the hell beat out of me, but my intention is always to remain standing at the end of the bout. So here I stand. Here I continue speaking. Like Elizabeth Warren, I persist. Moving up the ladder, I am also here because I am still a Unitarian, meaning the values I got in trouble for defending in 2019 are still my values. In doing so, I started a denomination-wide conflict, and I don't know how it will end, with a nationwide split, with us reestablishing our liberal principles at the UUA, or with failure and the utter demise of liberal religion in America. So I'm here because preserving our liberal religion is worth the struggle. Finally, the top reason I'm still here is because of you. People in this congregation. You have stood by me in difficult times. You've come to my rescue. You've endured loss. And you continued to demonstrate your commitment to our liberal values through it all. I'm here because most of you also share and demonstrate those values that make ours a liberal religion. You have proven to those who mistook our church as merely a left-leaning social club, or as a place where everything and anything goes, or as a place with no meaningful history, no tradition, and no core values, that we are a Unitarian church and continue to stand as such, just as we have done for 133 years in this community. And I thank you for that, for I would not still be here without you. And I remain here for you, because I worry what, in this illiberal climate, is going to happen to this historic congregation when I do leave. This does not mean that I will always be here. All good things must end, and I don't know what the near or far future holds for me, but for now, these are the reasons I am here. Why are you here? And I'm going to open the floor up now for you to, for at least some of you to respond to that. I don't know if we'll have time to get to everybody. But if you can say a sentence or two about why you're here and you would like to share that, Dick is going to go around with our microphone. Let me make sure it's on. Check, check. And so for the folks who are streaming with us, if you'll state your name, because they may not be able to see you. And also we'll get to some of those who might be Zooming with us who can respond today. So if you maybe raise your hand if you know how to do that and want to share something, I'll turn and look now and then. And if I forget somebody, say, oh, there's a hand up behind you, okay? So whoever would like to begin, why are you here? Why are you still here? Whatever that question means to you, feel free to address it.
I'm here because
just hold up just a little closer and then introduce yourself.
Oh, thank you. I'm Jack Talcott. Hi, everyone. I'm assuming I'm here because God wanted me to want to be here. Because I wanted to be here for all the reasons that you said, Todd. So know God controls all things, and I sure wanted to be here, and I sure am glad to hear those words. Thank you.
My name is Dan Akrit. The reason I'm here is because I have nowhere else to go in a religious sense. I went to churches earlier on in my life. When I walked in the door, they said, "This is what we believe. If you join us, this is what you should believe." In this church, we have such a mix of people, intellects, views, lifestyles, that we can all come together and accomplish something that none of us can do as individuals. And I know no other church, a religious body in the world that allows me to do that. That's why I'm here.
My name's Steven, and I'm here because throughout the week, the world always wants us to consume. And it's great to make space in the week to be in a place where you're encouraged to be. And to piggyback on the congregant's message is not only be, but be you. Be whole and be well.
My name's Lynn Janishian, and I came here because I thought it was cool, and it was left-leaning, and I didn't really know what it meant, and I came from a Lutheran background, but I wanted to learn. And then Reverend Eckloff arrived, and about maybe 4 or 5 years into his ministry, I should say I'm still here because I feel like I'm really learning what it means to be a Unitarian now. And since 2019, it's become even more important to me that I know how to be a Unitarian on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday just as much as I know how to be a Unitarian on Sunday morning.
We're going to get one more here in the room, Terry, and then I see your hand up.
Well, I wanted to thank all the people that have expressed so much why they want to be here. And I'm here because I feel welcome. And the fact is that many places I have attended in the past, like others have said or implied, were not so much welcoming as they were in an authoritarian setting. You were kind of like, it was an otherness to the minister and the congregation. I don't feel that here at all. I feel that we're all in one unified struggle right now to have a world that values good things. That's it.
Thank you, Pam. Now, if Todd will make sure the audio is up on Zoom, it is. So, Terry, go ahead and...
Yeah. Well, I guess I've been a Unitarian for over 50 years, but I'm currently now quite estranged from the Canadian Unitarian Congress and the illiberal trend. So, to me, coming to this church was particularly to be engaged in that battle with Todd and the rest of you here. So I guess I haven't been shying away from that battle. I've actually, maybe I'm just a 19-year-old recruit at hand, have to go off to war, but I do look, I'm inspired by this struggle to retain our Unitarian values, or liberal values. But the second reason was that in my career as a university prof, I traveled a lot around the world, and I always used to go to a Unitarian service if I was able to. And what I found here at Spokane is one of the highest quality services that you can get. And I know that maybe you guys who live in Spokane don't go to all sorts of other services too, but the more you travel around, I haven't been to every service, obviously, but I think you'll find a hard time to find the music, the speech, the ambiance that you guys enjoy here in Spokane. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you, Terry. Are there any other Zoomers that want to share something while you have the floor? Okay. How about anyone else in the room? Yes, Karen. We'll give this still on. There we go. Thank you, Dick.
Well, as you know, I've been very involved in social justice issues in this church before Todd came here and afterwards, and I've been so impressed by what he's done with marriage equality, with the coal trains issue, and many other social justice issues through the Spokane Alliance that we pursued. So that's my main reason for being a Unitarian. And I also think that in the divisiveness, in the split in the church, I learned some very important things. I learned that liberals can sometimes be as mean and divisive as any right-wing Republicans. And it was a wake-up call to me that there are ways to be in the world. And in this church, we still have the right to criticize our fellow congregants in a civil way. And I think one of the things that hurt me the most about the split was that after our board election in 2020, people disrespected the democratic process by leaving. And I learned a lot from that, and I think we are still a democratic congregation with, and I mean in a general sense, not political sense, and that we can discuss within our own congregation issues of great importance without getting too angry at each other.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to butt in for just a second, then we'll take it back to Dick Gammon. Wants to say something too, but if I can just piggyback on that, a lot of you probably know that President Biden has made a lot of headlines this week by criticizing the MAGA Republicans, as he calls them, and deservedly so, saying they're a threat to our democracy. And of course, a lot of Republicans have jumped on that as being a very personal and necessary attack. And I agree. I'm glad that he said it. Being nice and not admitting those things is just as problematic as anything else. I do wish that Biden would have acknowledged the extremities on the far left right now, because they are also leaning towards a fascist type of society where people are no longer free to express themselves at risk of losing their very livelihoods. So I think that would have done something to help a lot of Americans feel like this guy really knows what he's talking about. He has some values that are consistent across the stream, and he's not going to really support that on either side of the political level. So maybe Biden will wake up. But I do think it is, it's been hard as liberals to challenge our own kin, if you will, but I think it's also necessary. So.
Hi, my name's Dick Gammon, and I think I feel a level of comfort here, and I feel a great level of comfort with Unitarianism in its traditions. And why I do that is because I can express what I want to express and not feel that I'm going to be condemned for expressing what I say. I might engage in a conversation, therefore, which would change my mind, which is important to me. In other words, an alive dialogue about what you believe is important to me. And that's why I will remain a Unitarian, and I'll remain here.
Thank you. Thank you. Well said. Okay, I'm not seeing any other hands up on Zoom. Anybody else in the room? Okay, well, this has been... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm Richard Steele,
And one of the things that this congregation and this church provides to me is an opportunity to try to become what I would like to become, which is practice, as Todd was saying, listening and hearing what other people are saying and filtering it through compassion and understanding, and yet standing ground and criticizing when I think that that's appropriate.
Thank you very much. And thank you for being our Phil Donahue today. For those who remember Phil Donahue. For those who don't, I'm showing my age, right? So anyway, this has been a very enriching service today. Thanks to everybody who shared. And it's an open question, right? It's a question we should be asking ourselves every day. Not only about this church, but our place here in the world, our place in the community. You know, why are we here? Why are we here? What's our purpose? What's our meaning? Where does that derive from? So it's a big question, and I thank Owen for bringing it out of me and for gifting our church with it. So thanks to Owen.
Well, I'm going to take this opportunity to say a word or two also. I've been here for sometimes forever, 30-some years. And I have looked out at this congregation for Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. I, too, came from a Lutheran background, and I felt boxed. And when I, at 18 years old, came to this church, when the old church on the South Hill there, it was like a breath of fresh air to me. I could feel, even at that point, that I was in a place that could feel like home to me religiously. And so that's why I'm here personally. And I do identify with being a Unitarian. So that is another reason. And I'm mostly here because this sounds corny. I love you. I'm here because I have seen some of these faces for years, and then I see new faces that smile at me, and I love it. And I love the choral work I do, so I'm just here because I need this interaction. So please stand and sing a song that I really have pointed at you. It's called "They Can't Take That Away From Me." You will find the printed words in your order of service. And I want you to know that there is a place down toward the bottom of the first page that says Instrumental Interlude. And then we will get to enjoy Maura's playing until I cue you to come back in. So please rise as you're willing and able to sing "They Can't Take That Away From Me." The way you wear your hat, the way you sip your tea, the memory of all that. No, they can't take that away from me. The way you smile the beams, the way you sing off key, the way you haunt my dreams. No, they can't take that away from me. We may never meet again on the bumpy road of life. Still I'll always keep the memory of the way you hold your knife, the way we danced till 3, the way you changed my life. No, they can't take that away from me. hold your knife, the way we danced till 3, the way you've changed my life. No, no, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away from me. So take that to heart.
For our benediction, I offer the words of English philosopher John Stuart Mill. The amount of eccentricity in a society has generally been proportional to the amount of genius, mental vigor, and moral courage it contained. That there are so few now who dare to be eccentric marks the chief danger of our time. Amen. Blessed be, salam alaikum, and shalom.